Alright, Vault Hunters, let's talk about one of the most underrated stars of the Borderlands universe, the weapon manufacturers. These megacorps aren't just fancy logos slapped on your loot, they've got real presence in the games through NPCs, allies, enemies, and of course the guns themselves. And in Borderlands 4, that tradition is alive and well. Every single gun you pick up has a story behind it, a company that made it, and some very specific quirks that make it stand out from the rest. Now here's the thing, gearing up in Borderlands 4 isn't just a numbers game. Sure, higher damage looks tempting, but the real magic is in how each manufacturer's design choices change the way a weapon feels in your hands. From recoil patterns to crazy reload mechanics, every company adds its own flavor. So in this video, we're diving into the best weapon manufacturers in Borderlands 4, breaking down what makes them unique and helping you figure out which ones fit your playstyle the best. I'm quickly moving on to the video.
Very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel.
If you enjoy these types of list videos,
Please don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos.
Enjoy watching.
Thanks.
Daedalus is all about keeping things simple, and honestly, that is part of what makes them stand out in Borderlands 4. Their weapons do not shoot out lightning bolts or spawn a miniature black hole every time you reload. Instead, they do exactly what you expect. You point, you pull the trigger, and you watch the numbers go up. Sometimes that kind of straightforward reliability is exactly what you need when the battlefield is already chaotic enough. What really makes Daedalus unique, though, is their alternate ammunition mechanic. Every single one of their guns can swap to a different ammo type at the push of a button. Imagine you are running around with a Daedalus assault rifle. It normally uses assault rifle ammunition, but with a quick mode change, it might suddenly be firing shotgun shells, pistol rounds, or even sniper bullets. Different guns will offer different alternate ammo types, which makes experimenting with them feel like you are carrying multiple weapons in one slot. Now, let's be real. Daedalus guns are not going to melt bosses as fast as the highest damage per second manufacturers. They sit on the lower side of the raw damage spectrum, but that trade-off comes with a ton of consistency. They are dependable, they work against just about everything, and that alternate ammo feature means you are almost never caught off guard without the right tool for the job. In fact, Daedalus is basically the new version of Doll in Borderlands 4. The look and theme are different, sure, but the core idea remains the same. Clean, accurate, versatile weapons that get the job done. Vladov is basically the embodiment of pure firepower in Borderlands 4. If your playstyle is spray first, ask questions later, then these guns were made for you. They are the ultimate bullet hoses. Guns that just keep firing and firing, leaving a wall of lead wherever you point them. High fire rates are their signature, so you get that satisfying constant stream of bullets that makes enemies think twice before standing in front of you. But it is not just about spitting out bullets. Every Vladov weapon comes with an underbarrel attachment, which can completely change how you approach combat. Some have underbarrel shotguns for devastating close-range bursts, others have flamethrowers or tasers to control crowds, and a few even have bipods that drastically improve accuracy when you are holding a position. That versatility makes Vladov guns more than just mindless spray tools. They can adapt to different fights depending on which attachment you are rocking. Of course, there are trade-offs. Each individual shot of a Vladov gun does less damage than many other manufacturers, so you might find yourself burning through ammo faster than you expected. Reload speeds can also be a little slower on some models, which means you need to plan your timing when things get hectic. Still, if you want pure volume and flexibility in your arsenal, Vladov is the go-to choice for turning a firefight into a non-stop symphony of bullets. Jacobs is basically Borderlands 4's love letter to the Wild West. Think classic revolvers, double-barreled shotguns, crank guns, and bolt-action rifles that feel straight out of a cowboy movie. Every gun in their lineup is built to hit hard, and when you land a critical shot, the bullets can even ricochet, letting you rack up some serious damage in style. If you are the kind of player who loves feeling like a sharpshooter, Jacobs is going to make your inner gunslinger very happy. One of the coolest things about Jacobs guns is how they handle. Semi-automatic rifles and revolvers can fire as fast as you can pull the trigger, which means your reflexes really matter. Plus, every single Jacobs gun deals extra critical damage, so hitting that perfect shot is not just satisfying, it is devastating. Their shotguns in particular have insane synergies with certain Vault Hunters, making them incredibly fun in the right hands. Of course, no manufacturer is perfect. Jakobs guns usually come with low ammo capacities and slower reload speeds, which can make prolonged fights a little tricky. But if you are a marksman at heart and you love the thrill of pulling off high damage shots with precision, these drawbacks are a small price to pay. For anyone who wants to feel like a gunslinger roaming the lawless worlds of Borderlands 4, Jakobs is an absolute must. Order weapons are the go-to choice if you want that high-impact, precision-heavy feel in Borderlands 4. These guns are used by the main enemy faction in the game, so they have that alien tech vibe, looking and feeling a bit different from your standard human-made firearms. Like Jakobs, they pack a punch and reward players who can aim carefully, but there is a twist. Every order gun can be charged to fire multiple shots, either all at once or in quick succession. That makes landing a single shot feel incredibly satisfying. The charging mechanic opens up some fun tactical options. You can wipe out groups of weak enemies in one big blast, or carefully charge up to deal massive damage to elites and bosses. It gives a sense of control and timing that can make combat feel more strategic, almost like you are orchestrating each engagement rather than just spraying bullets wildly. On the flip side, the charge-based style may not appeal to everyone. All order guns are semi-automatic, so there is no holding down the trigger for a continuous stream of bullets. That can feel a little restrictive if you are used to high fire rate weapons or prefer more chaotic combat. Still, for players who enjoy deliberate, powerful shots and the thrill of charging up to unleash big damage, order weapons are a standout choice. Ripper guns are perfect if you love that chaotic full auto mayhem in Borderlands 4. These weapons come from the second enemy faction in the game, a bunch of fanatical psychos who worship a delusional queen, but the guns themselves look way more alien, probably borrowing tech from the Order. The defining feature here is simple. All Ripper weapons fire in full automatic. You just hold down the trigger and let the bullets fly, which makes for some seriously satisfying spray and pray action. Of course, there is a catch. Every Ripper gun needs to spool up before it can start firing, which means there is a short delay from the moment you pull the trigger to when the bullets actually start flying. It can feel a bit awkward if you are used to controlled bursts or want instant precision, but once that spool up is done, the firepower is nothing to scoff at. It can turn even the toughest encounters into a flurry of destruction. The good news is that most Ripper guns have slower fire rates compared to other full auto manufacturers, so you do not end up burning through ammo too quickly. This makes them surprisingly efficient when moving from target to target. If you enjoy full auto carnage and do not mind a little prep time before blasting away, Ripper weapons are a blast to use and a solid choice for keeping combat wild and unpredictable. Torg is basically the embodiment of everything that goes boom in Borderlands 4. If you like your combat loud, messy, and utterly satisfying, these are the guns for you. Every single Torg weapon fires some form of explosive ordnance, mini rockets, sticky bombs, rocket launchers, you name it. Shotguns and rocket launchers are especially deadly, and watching enemies get blasted across the battlefield never gets old. Of course, explosives come with their own set of challenges. Rocket munitions are slower than regular bullets, so you have to either get up close and personal or carefully lead your shots to hit moving targets. Most Torgy guns fire impact gyrojets, which means timing and aim are key if you want to maximize your damage. It takes a little practice, but once you get it right, the payoff is huge and the explosions feel incredibly rewarding. Another cool thing about Torg weapons is that they deal splash damage. This means that items and skills that boost splash damage make these guns even deadlier. Line up a perfect shot, trigger a chain reaction, and watch a cluster of enemies vanish in a fiery explosion. For anyone who enjoys chaotic, high-impact combat, Torg is hands down the most explosive choice in the game. Maliwan is the go-to manufacturer if you are all about elemental chaos in Borderlands 4. Their guns are plasma-based and specialize in dealing elemental damage, which means you can shock shields, melt armor, or set a psycho on fire in style. These weapons are perfect for damage over time builds, letting you slowly burn down or weaken enemies while staying in control of the fight. That said, Maliwan guns do have some quirks you need to account for. Each shot tends to deal less raw damage compared to other manufacturers, and their projectiles travel slower than your typical bullet. That means you either need to get up close for maximum effect or lead your shots carefully if your targets are moving. It can take a bit of practice, but once you get the timing right, the results are devastating. One other thing to keep in mind is elemental effectiveness. Different elements, like fire, shock, or corrosive, have strengths and weaknesses against different types of health such as shields, armor, or flesh. Understanding which element to use against which enemy will make your Maliwan guns feel even more powerful, turning you into a walking elemental arsenal capable of handling nearly any encounter. Tediore is all about keeping combat fast, chaotic, and a little bit unpredictable in Borderlands 4. At first glance, their guns function like other bullet-based manufacturers such as Daedalus and Jacobs, but the twist is what happens when you reload. Instead of swapping magazines, you literally throw the gun like a grenade. It explodes on impact, and a fresh replica instantly digistructs into your hands. It is flashy, fun, and perfect for players who like a bit of flair with their firepower. Not every Tediore weapon sticks to the standard grenade throw though. Some guns can sprout little legs and act as short-lived turrets that automatically seek out enemies. Others can be thrown and then fired mid-air to rack up even more damage. That versatility makes Tediore guns feel like a toolkit rather than just a weapon, letting you experiment with different ways to approach combat and keep enemies guessing. On the downside, the actual damage per second of Tediore guns is generally lower than other manufacturers. However, the damage scales based on how much ammo is left in the magazine when you throw the gun. This means that if you have a full magazine, that one toss can hit surprisingly hard. For anyone who likes a mix of creativity, chaos, and explosive fun, Tediore is a manufacturer that keeps every firefight interesting. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.